Peace, my peaceful people. What's good? It's your brother Man Sai. Alright, we are continuing our series on the readings and how they apply to relationships, right? Okay, so this is the spheres for Maat. How does Maat look in relationship, right? So when you see a Maat reading in your or for your relationship, right? What does it look like? Okay, so Ma'at is, a few things, right? Ma'at is one of the more popular Egyptian deities, right? That we see. Mayat, people be talking about they Mayat, right? So Ma'at is what? It's truth, right? Ma'at is truth. Ma'at is balance. Ma'at is law. Ma'at is love. Now, how is Ma'at all of these things? Ma'at is more stuff than that. I mean, I could keep going. But how is Ma'at all these things at the same time? Well, Ma'at is huge. That's one thing. Ma'at is Jupiter, biggest planet, right? Jupiter governs both Sagittarius and Ma'at, right? Or I should say, there's a relationship between Tehuti, Ma'at, and Jupiter and all that. So you find Ma'at is expansive, right? But at the essence, right, Ma'at is God's love, right? Universal divine love is what Ma'at is. So Ma'at can be all those things because Ma'at is love, right? What is love? Love is that essence, that essential, connection that you have with others, based upon who you are. So you love, right? Love, universal love. What is that? What is universal love, right? Universal love is, setting into motion the things that will bring you balance, right? The things that will bring you harmony, the things that will sustain you, is what love is the creator's love is shown through showing you sustainable harmony, right? What are those things, right, that could show you sustainable harmony? Well, we learn in the Osirian tradition that before Osir can place his feet on earth, Ma'at has to be established. Right? Ma'at is the foundation of law and order and truth, right? The foundation of law, right? The physics that upholds the planet, right? Gravity, right? The three dimensions, right? The various aspects that are going to, enable one to have an existence on this planet and it not be, chaotic. Right, you could say Ma'at was the terraforming of the planet, right, to make way for Osir's existence, right. So that is the love, right, the preparing of the way for the God to come and sit, right. That's the love that was shown, right, before the God ever got here, right. So Ma'at exists as love, right, as love, as universal love, right, is your affinity for others, right. Your affinity for the connection, for the thing that is inside that individual is inside me. Therefore, I love, right? That's what Ma'at is, right? Well, that's one thing that Ma'at is. Again, Ma'at is many things, right? Another one of the greatest things that Ma'at is balance, right? Ma'at is the scales, right? The Libra scales, Libra association with Ma'at, right? And Neteru, right? Funny, right? So it scales, right? The two pens that weigh judgment, okay? The scales, balance is what the metaphor is for Ma'at, right? You understand that when you see Ma'at, you are being asked to achieve balance, right? To be not too left, to be not too right, but to be in the center, right? So what does this look like in relationship? Like, let me say this as well, right? Also, one of the, there's no grade, right? There's no grading of these, like, or order of importance, right? Or perhaps there is, I just don't know it, right? But, right, the other thing that is very important about Ma'at is the truth, okay? Ma'at is the truth, right? Versus the lie. Ma'at is, the real versus the fake, right? It's what happened versus not what happened. We dealing with the truth of your being anytime you dealing with the tree of life. The Paut Neteru is for, the development of the person. The truth serves the highest good, right? The truth is what serves the highest good. So, Ma'at is what serves the highest good, right? And again, law, as we spoke before, law is not something that is compelling, right? Or, law in the sense of Ma'at, right? Law at Ma'at is represented as a feather because it's just that light. You don't have to follow the law. You can do what you want. You got free will. God gave you free will, said you can go this way, go that way. You can do what you want to do. But no, there are consequences to everything you do. So if you don't do truth, then expect the consequence, right? If you do truth, expect the consequence. And it's perfect, right? Okay, so what does this look like in relationship? Okay, so, Ma'at, despite being, very benevolent, right? Benevolence is governed by Ma'at, right? So despite being, super duper great and nice and righteous and all of that good stuff, right? You see, Ma'at is not actually a relationship significator, right? Because, relationships are more towards a personal thing, whereas Ma'at is a universal thing, right? Personal conjugal love that you have for another human, right? That affection, that affinity, right? For another human, right? Whereas Ma'at is now turning that similar focus out to the world, right? Ma'at is where you want to share, right? You want to share why? Because that person needed too, right? And I don't care about, what you got to give me in return. I'm just going to give it because that's me. That's Ma'at, right? Because I'm possessed of love, right? That's why I give, right? I share with you because I'm possessed of love, right? And so when we go to relationship, relationship becomes the training ground for this thing of Ma'at, this thing of universal love. See, God gives you the small classroom before he gives you the big classroom, right? The small classroom is that mate, that woman, that man that you have to, love and share with, right? Right? Pass that test, says God, right? And then we got deeper challenges for you, over here in the spheres, in divine spheres of life, right? We're gonna have you bring some of that universal love in a more universal way. But first, do this thing over here and have this relationship, and bring that sharing, that caring, that giving, right? Bring those good intentions, right? Bring that good affinity, right? Bring these things to, some other human that's right next to you, right? Do that, be successful in that, and you're training yourself to now be able to do that to the world, right? And that's where you get your various saints, right? Your various, people who turn to the world to nourish the world with whatever the love is that God gave them, right? So again, so Ma'at is once again a very lofty reading as well, especially to apply to relationships, right? Ma'at is going to be a high spiritual challenge because Ma'at says, I give seeking nothing in return, right? And how many of us are at that level? Ma'at says, I give because you are me and I'm you. And that's what I should do, right? So I don't got to worry about, it's not even in my motivation, but I know that's coming back anyway because I'm giving to myself, right? I've done, that's like alchemy, right? That's an occult alchemical thing, right? I gave to you, I just gave to me, right? I see me in you. So therefore what? It ain't even a thing to give to you because I see me in you, right? So all you, people who are, super duper selfish and, you think it's important to only, be dealing with what's in your head and, what you think, and you don't give nothing to nobody, and, you just take, take, take. Yeah, y'all takers, y'all gotta, y'all gonna have to deal with Maat. You know what I mean? And it's all just about development. Y'all are, just people who need more years. You know what I mean? And, life is gonna show you. Life is going to show you. I don't even gotta get mad at you because life is going, life is going to show you. You know what I mean? I can have compassion and, telling you about it. Just giving you the warning on what to look for, right? But yeah, my aunt. So when you see my aunt relationship, right, you're going to have to share. This is about sharing, right? You're going to have to learn to, remove all selfishness, become selfless, right? There's going to be a giving, right? You're going to find that perhaps the mate that you receive this reading for, perhaps there's a need of something that they have a need that you have to give. And, you have to just give it. You know what I mean? There has to be no, you have to not take it into account so hard. Just give. Just give what you got. You know what I mean? That's what you're going to find. This could be a situation where, someone is lacking in something that you have, and you have to give it, So when you see a ma'at in a relationship, you have to assess. Again, you have to assess because we're dealing with high aspects of the tree. Say, 3/4 of the world lives in the Sahu division. That's the lower third of the tree. So most of the people you see in life are going to be of a low development. They're not going to be people who have a high sense of understanding about life, high sense of morality, a high sense of, relation, towards the Creator, towards you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you're not going to meet, we're in a rare zone here is what I'm saying. Ma'at is a rare zone. It's something that's a high development piece that not a lot of people are going to be, accessing right away. Right? So a Ma'at reading is one that you have to assess your abilities. You have to assess where you are when you see a Ma'at reading. You know what I mean? Yeah, and Ma'at is indeed one of the, it's that highest level of earthly attainment before you get into the heavenly spheres, right? So it's something that's achievable, totally achievable by the human. It's, one of our goals and missions is what we should be on. We should be on, all people should be on a mission to achieve Ma'at, which is, God's love within the being, okay? So bringing that to relationship, what you see is sharing, right? You're going to be someone who shares. You're going to be someone who, gives of yourself, right? Even, relationship is not necessarily the zone for, not seeking it back, right? But with a ma'at on the table, some aspect of it is going to be, right? Because what? Relationship is conjugal, right? Relationship is I scratch your back, you scratch mine, right? But there's going to be a need for you to give, seeking nothing in return with a ma'at reading on the table. All right? So, right. So if you can, meet the challenge once again, you're going to have harmony, right? Ma'at is a beautiful thing, right? Ma'at is, to exist in love, right? How the Christians say agape. That's what ma'at is, right? That agape love, right? That, universal, you are my mother, my father, my sister, my brother love. You know what I'm saying? Can you bring that to the relationship? Yeah. So this is your challenge with this Metu as your reading. All right? So yeah, stay tuned, y'all. We're going to keep talking about it. I'm going to see y'all at Tehuti.